I said again. What was the question?
Sort of how important was it to actually really get the mannerisms and the voice and so on of Niki dead on? Was there a lot of work went into that?
Oh yeah. No, that was crucial to me because Niki is a fearless man, and he is and I wanted to get this across. I didn't want to play that part with a handbrake. I just wanted to do it full on, and it wasn't easy because if we Germans speak with this accent, it easily can sound very funny, and if you don't get it right, it's a caricature, and you could never go back to Austria. They would kill me. So I wanted to get the accent right because the accent adds that extra portion of irony, arrogance, and cockiness. We don't have that as you can tell in our German accent. It's boring. So and also the body language and a lot of things that because he's so present still on TV, people who are interested in Formula 1 would know how he looks like, how he moves, how he talks. So that was something very important. And then of course the extra, the things that you can't understand or the things that are different from the real life Niki. These things you just have to create for yourself. But this is an interesting process, to find the right balance and to not just only imitate someone, but to try to understand this person and then fill it with, things that come out of yourself. And it was a great process, and I enjoyed every single moment playing that part, I must say. And that's what I'm proudest of. That when I see it, I can see that I enjoyed it.
What was your relationship like with Chris offset? Because obviously you have this great rivalry in the film, but were you rivals offset as well? Did you spend a lot of time together sort of being friendly, or did you try and keep apart to keep up the...
Yeah, we didn't keep a distance on purpose. We just met and liked each other. The good thing is we are so different. Like in the movie, both characters in the movie, we are very different as actors. We come from different cultures. He's a laid-back Australian surfer guy. I'm half German, half Spanish. As actors, we come from completely different planets and movies. But I liked his humbleness and also sense of humor. And in between the takes, we always invented our very own relationship between Hunt and Lauda, which would be more a comedy.
Yeah.
A romantic comedy.
A bromance.
Yeah.
And working with Ron, how was that different from working with someone like, so you've worked with Tarantino, obviously probably most famously to a British audience.
Yeah.
What do you think the difference?
Well, the interesting about Ron is, I think it might be a reason why he's still so enthusiastic and fresh and young, is that always he's seeking for a completely new challenge, and he's a kind of director who always jumps from one genre to the other. And other directors like Tarantino have found their own universe, their own film language, and then move around within the universe. But Ron has done it all. And he said to me the other day that this was one of the most complicated movies for him because he's not European. He didn't grow up with Formula 1. It's a sport that was completely unknown to him. Also, the characters are not typical for an American movie because you don't have the hero and the villain. It's, you somehow, these both guys are the heroes or anti-heroes and the villains. So it was a tough process for him, and it was such a relief when he went to that screening at the Nürburgring, because Niki organized a screening for Eccleston and various drivers, and there were standing ovations, and then Ron, noticed that we had done a good job because the Formula 1 world accepts and likes the movie. Yeah. So he was very moved. And it was a very reassuring moment for all of us. Also that Niki liked the movie and liked my performance because, being so undiplomatic, he would have told me, oh, shit, never come back to Vienna, you asshole.
In your words, really, I'd like to hear you talk about the components in this film that appeal to the breadth of an audience, really.
Well, after the screenings, Ron told me that women, for example, love the movie, and most of the women said before watching the movie that they hate Formula One. They're not interested in Formula One at all, and they really loved the movie. Might be because of probably of me, but no. I think there are various reasons. It's not only a one-dimensional race film, but just focused on the racing and the action. But it is a real drama. It has depth. It is a clever story, and and you get to know two fascinating, very opposed characters, and involving their relationships, their romantic or love relationships with the women. And back in the days, what makes it so dramatic is, of course, the fact that, you could die every weekend when you were. So how does it feel for a driver himself, and how does it feel for his environment to, to love someone and to support someone who could, die within a second. So, and the general, I think, feel and glamour of the 70s set in this world, I think, is something that people seem to like. Also for me, it was great to dive into that period, because I haven't lived the 70s, and I was envied, my parents' generation, who lived the 70s, and it was fun to listen to that music again, to wear these costumes, and to to pretend you're a 70s driver.
What do you think kind of set apart the drivers of that era, sort of compared to particularly the present day, and sort of, I mean, you're not kind of a massive fan of F1, but obviously in terms of what the characters are like now and how they were back then, what distinguished them?
Well, you could say that Niki was a bit of a pioneer. He seems to me like the modern drivers nowadays, but James was a typical driver of the 70s. He, I mean, the 70s were wild in general in society, but also in that sport. So today you wouldn't find a driver who smokes a joint, has a drink, has fun with a girl, and then drives with 300 kilometers an hour. And it was Niki took me to a Grand Prix in Brazil after my first stay in Vienna, and he introduced me to drivers like Vettel and Nico Rosberg, and then also to former drivers. And then he was sitting with Jackie Stewart and Nelson Piquet, and when they started talking, you could tell the difference, the professional focused drivers nowadays and the whole Formula One world, which became very sterile and professional in general. And then you had the wild guys from the 70s. It was different times,
Did you meet Kimi Räikkönen at all?
He is a bit, according to Niki, the only one who could be a driver from the 70s.
Yeah. Well, he famously answered a question on live TV. They were like, "Did you go and see Schumacher getting this award from Pele?" Or Pele gave it to Schumacher, and he says, "No, I was having a shit." and he was like, "We're on live TV, mate." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." And he was just like, "Thanks, Kimmy." He wandered off.
Is it?
But
yeah.
How much did you actually get to do? Much driving?
Yes, we did.
And how much training went into that? And
well, more than expected. Yeah, I did way before the shooting. Right after I got the offer, I did a Formula 3 course in Spain, in Barcelona, which was a good experience because after one lap I could understand the passion for the whole for the racing. And then we did some other courses with Chris and I, which was fun because it was really hard for Chris to get into the car and out the car. Yeah, and they had to make a special car for him. And I had an accident when I first tried my fake Ferrari. A wheel came off, and I made a spin. And it was like 1 or 2 seconds. I felt a bit uncomfortable because I thought, oh, it's difficult to get the car under control, and it wasn't too fast, so I wasn't really concerned. But still, and then after that, I thought, did they do it on purpose so that I, get better into the Niki part? Did Ron fix it? But yeah.